Hi Russell, Phil Beever here from the Wilderness Club. Just want to recap on our lesson last night. So if we run through your first swing, we can see here the very first movement here is your hands roll the club face. So if we keep an eye on your hands here, you'll see that that left hand comes into picture very quickly. And what that does is it gets the club head, what we call, behind you. So we can now see the club head is quite a long way behind the body. So you'd hit a wall if it's behind you. If we look here at Adam Scott on the right, we can see that his club head stays outside of his hand, so his club head is in a very different position, and you can see as he sets the club, he never had hit a wall behind him where you can see with you'd have wiped it out. Okay, now what that does for you, Russell, is it gets the club face slightly open. It's hard to see here, but if we go back to Adams, you'll see that halfway back at this frame here, his club face is in the same sort of angle as his forearm. Now yours, it's hard to see with blurry, but your club face is at that angle. So yours is looking this way, Adams is looking that way. So very, very different. And that just sets the swing a little bit difficult for you, because obviously you're going to leave the club face open when you get to the top. Top of the swing looks fine, but because there is no sort of set early on, like Adams here, we can see a nice full hinge. The shaft there points between the golf ball and his feet. If we go back to yours, Russell, we can see here where it's so flat, and that roll, we can see it's very way above the ball, that line. Okay, because there's no set, this is going to make your swing look very short. Now I love the arms, I just don't like where the club head finishes. So if you look at you and Adam, very similar arm swing, but you can see Adam's club is in a different longer, fuller swing, purely because of the wrist hinge. On the way down, Russell, I think you make a great swing. Coming down, the arms are great, the shaft's good, cutting through the right forearm. If we look at Adams here, as he unwinds down to impact, we can see his shaft cuts through his right forearm, left arm's across his chest, your left arm's across your chest. So ticking all the boxes for me on the way down. Coming into impact, really, really good, but the club was a little bit open because of that early roll with the wrists. Okay, so keep everything the same, just work hard on for me, keeping the club head outside the line as you go back. So just stand with a wall behind you there, give you the feeling and get that wrist hinging. And we want that left wrist flat at the top. If we go back to the top of Adam's swing, we can see his left wrist here is nice and flat. It's bang on in the line of his forearm. So work on that for me. This swing here, it was quite good, but you could see the club face was getting a little bit open, as we talked about. With driver, I think you need to feel like you swing left and across it slightly, just so we can consistently hit fades. I think that's the safe shot for you, Russell. I think if you try and hit it straight, you miss it both ways. So I would definitely like to feel that you, coming into impact, through impact, you just swing a little bit left and across with your new club face, and you'll hit like a little bullet cut. Otherwise, it's a terrific swing. Just really got to tidy up that very first bit. Lots of work without a golf ball, just working on them wrists and getting them to hinge at the right place. So we can definitely see here, I mean, that line there is very, very flat, and again, if we look at Adams, you'll see that his shaft is a lot more vertical. Okay, work on that for me, Russell.